Hey y'all, I'm so sorry that I was a little bit late. I lost track of time and for whatever reason I thought that I had this live stream scheduled for 1:30 when in reality I had it scheduled for 1:15. So I apologize for being late. So sorry about that. Per usual, don't forget to like, subscribe, all that jazz. Um let me link the Patreon in the chat really quick because we talked about emotional attachment yesterday, and I am going to do a more deeper dive. I'm going to do a more deeper dive into emotional detachment and things that you can do for emotional detachment. I'm going to put that in the Patreon this week or before the end of this week. So you can look out for that. But let me just link the Patreon really fast in the live stream. Yay. Okay, perfect. All right, wonderful. We're back. Also, let's get into this eyeshadow, okay? The lighting's different because I get on my phone. It's going to be different because it's on my phone as opposed to my MacBook, and I don't I don't have the ring light as high, and the ring light isn't attached to my phone for it to be, so that's why the lighting looks different between here on TikTok. I know people like it better on TikTok, but you're not on TikTok. So you got to get used to the lighting over here. Okay. So, all right. So I seen a video and we don't talk about this enough. We do not talk about this enough. Okay. How women like wait their whole lives. So I've met women who they won't go on a vacation somewhere. They want to buy a house. They don't want to buy a house. Um, they're waiting to do all of these milestones, even though they want to do these milestones, because in their brain, they're hitting these milestones with a man in their life. And so they are just going to sit here and wait like a sitting duck until a man decides to pick them up and say, okay, now we're together. Okay, now let's go on ahead and get a home. Let's now decide that we're going to go on vacation. Um, and then on the opposite end, the video that I've seen, essentially, she said that it was a woman making a video and she made a post saying how she saw a post of some women talking about Halloween's coming up. Okay. You know what I mean? And listen, for Halloween, I'm sorry, but like, I feel like, I mean, I don't care how women dress. You know what I mean? I don't care how women dress. You should always dress however you want to dress. But essentially, there were women saying that my future husband, I'm not gonna dress I'm not gonna dress any old way for Halloween because my future husband would never want me to be half naked on Halloween. Meanwhile, one of my ex-boyfriends, he literally met me wearing a leotard with my ass cheeks out for Halloween. That's literally how he met me. He met me with my ass cheeks out for a Halloween party. And that's how he met me. And you got women over here talking about how they're not going to dress a certain way because they don't want their future husband to care about how they're dressing. That's insanity. Okay, that's insanity. First of all, how do you know that you're even going to meet your future husband? How do you even know that you're going to get married? So you mean to tell me that you are making decisions for yourself over something that you don't even have a guarantee that's going to happen? Purposely, purposely putting yourself in a prison, putting yourself in a prison over a man that doesn't even exist, over a man that you don't even know how he looks. You don't know his name, you don't know where he's from, you don't know anything about him. And you're going to sit here and dictate what you should be wearing for Halloween over a man that doesn't even know that you exist. That's insanity. I am sorry. That is absolute insanity. That makes no sense to me. That makes no sense to me. I've never in my brain had that line of thinking that I need to stop dressing a certain way. I need to start doing this. There are literally women out here that are like, oh, yeah, like I want to get a house, but I'm not going to get a house because I keep hearing men say that they don't want to be with the woman that has a house. There are women over here. There are women over here purposely not getting an education because they're over here hearing men say, well, men said that they don't like it when women have degrees. I'm hearing these men say that they don't like it when women have degrees, so I'm just not going to get a degree. Do you know how insane you have to be to put your life on hold to have that type of thinking? That's crazy. And I hope there's a pick me out here listening to this because I really do say all this stuff with love. I really do say all this stuff with love. But as a woman, you need to be living your life the complete opposite. You need to be living your life as if you're not going to meet your husband. You need to be living your life like you're not going to find the man of your dreams. Because my thing about it is this. Imagine the setup that you're creating for that type of man to come into your life that would even care so much about your past. Like, I kind of feel as though women that have that mindset, they're going to end up with an incel. Like, I feel like a woman like that has that mind frame, she's going to end up with a man that's highly insecure. She's going to end up with a man that doesn't like women. Because why would you want to be somebody? Why would you want to be with somebody and marry somebody that would take that much stock into something as small as how you fucking dressed on Halloween? Why would you want to be married to somebody who would be intimidated over the fact that you go on vacation alone? Why would you want to be with a man that is intimidated over the fact that you have your own home? All you're doing is keeping the bar low for men who understand that they cannot give you a good experience in life. And so you have to cage your own self. You have to sit here and handcuff yourself to a pole and live a life being handcuffed to a damn pole in order for a man to come in here and give you a mediocre and lackluster experience in life. That's insane. That's insane. I feel as though women don't realize that they're like perpetually keeping the bar low for men with that type of thinking, because what you're admitting the fact that men don't have anything to offer you, and men are admitting the fact that they don't have anything to offer you. If I got to sit here and be at my worst and not be ambitious in order for you to come in my life to make me feel like you're doing something for me while I have nothing, that means you didn't have anything. That means you had nothing to offer worthy in the first place. That means you had nothing worthy to give me in the first place. Why should I have to lock myself in a cage in order for me to be palatable for a man? I'll just go without a man. I'll just go without a man. But for a lot of women, that's not even a thought in their mind. Like, of all of the options that they have on the table, there's not one option that's like, you want to know what? I'll just not even deal with the man if it means I have to do this. They have all these other options in their brain that they're like, oh yeah, like I won't dress, I won't make as much money, I'll come off as being stupid, I'll play dumb, I'll do all of these things just to make sure that I have somebody, when in reality it's like, for what? Because guess what? Once you, like I said before, once you start, it seems fun now when women have this mindset because women don't realize that they have a choice. Women don't wake up from this type of thinking until they're married and they realize that they really don't have a choice anymore. It's easy for you to decide, you want to know what? I'm not going to dress any old type of way because I want to get married. Because you still have the freedom and the choice to say, I could still dress however I want to dress. When you're trying to prove to a man how much you can conform to rules, you're proving to him and letting him know that you can follow rules and he can create whatever rule he wants to. And this is why a lot of women are always like, I can't. He won't let me. I can't. Yeah, it's not as difficult when you're single and you're willfully choosing, I'm gonna put myself up in this cage for a little bit, because you can decide to you got the key. You got the key to take yourself out. Once you set that precedent to be with a man, you're now giving him the key. You're now giving him the key. And at some point, you no longer have the freedom to go out on an urge and say, you want to know what? I want to wear this outfit. I want to show some cleavage. Where do you think you're going? You're not dressing like that. And then that's when women realize, like, damn, I don't want to live like this. I don't want to live like this, because as women, we're so conditioned to the fact that we actually have freedom. We don't realize that we actually have a lot more freedom because we're not reminded of the freedom that we have. That women don't realize that they sign up to be in these predicaments where it's like, okay, you're gonna have someone use power over you to tell you what you can and can't do. And by this point, they financially abuse you, they've emotionally abused you, et cetera, et cetera. And so now you're stuck. You're now stuck having to live like this. Makes no sense. Hold on, I gotta blot my makeup off because it's bothering me how oily I am. Sorry. I'm just a little too oily. Some of it is the highlighter too, but I'm a little too oily. This is why I've always liked men who don't care about dealing with 304s. If you are not familiar what a 304 is, a 304 is a HOE. Okay, a 304 is a HOE. Because they tend to not have issues with stuff like that. If you are a woman who you want to wear loud makeup, you want to wear loud colors, you want to wear form-fitting things, you want to wear tight things, revealing things, stuff like that. I like men that prefer 304s because they tend to not care as much about dumb stuff like that. That's the reason why I said, when you're a woman trying to put yourself in a cage, you're going to attract an incel. You're going to attract some loser man. You're going to attract some loser man that has never gotten any play from women. He's never gotten any pull from women. He's never had people like him or respect him or anything like that. And he's highly insecure. And so his expectation is going to be that you have to be a shrunken down version of yourself in order for him to feel like somebody. That's what that's going to get you. That's just going to get you somebody completely insecure. And I don't know about y'all. I don't want to be with somebody like that. Okay, I don't want to be with somebody who cares that much. And guess what? As soon as they show me that they do, because that's what the very same ex-boyfriend did. Ex-boyfriend sits here, meets me with a leotard. Meets me in a leotard with my booty cheeks out. And then we get into a relationship like a few months later. And then, like, pretty fresh into the relationship, he's starting an argument because I'm over here walking around with heels, jeans, and a crop top. And he's upset over the fact that I'm not wearing a jacket. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. You meet me in a damn leotard with my booty cheeks out, and now all of a sudden you want me to wear a jacket when I have a crop top on. It absolutely makes no sense. So even once they switch, once they change up, it's over. It's over. Because they love what they see. They love what they see when they don't own it. They love what they see when they're not in a relationship with you. And then as soon as they want to have ownership over you and they want you to coddle their self-esteem, that's when they decide that they're going to start trying to control how you dress. That's when they're going to start saying they're going to have an issue with your makeup. They're going to have an issue with your hair. They want you to reduce yourself down and do all these things. Yeah, because they're insecure and they just want to have complete ownership over you and they don't want anybody else to notice you. Like it just it makes no sense. This is the reason why once they switch up their mindset, I'm like, you know what? Once they decide, like, you want to know what, it's time for me to get controlling, that's when you have to end the relationship. That's when you have to end the relationship because they like it up until you're in a relationship with them because they don't want anybody else to have you. They want to find this, they want to be a bird collector. That's why I think it's so funny that men call women birds as an insult. Men tell on themselves a lot. Men tell on themselves a lot because they love to use the word bird as an insult. Okay, well, a bird is free. A bird is free to do what it wants. A bird is free to do what it wants. I want my freedom. I want to be free to do what I want. Men will go on and try to be bird collectors. And then they will find a bird and they're like, wow, look at this exotic bird. Look at this amazing bird. You want to know what? I'm going to suffocate this bird and just like keep it in this cage and then tell everybody that I have this like birded cage. But I'm going to invite people over and then boom, guess what? I'm just going to, whenever people come over, I'm going to cover up the bird. I'm going to cover up the cage so nobody knows that the bird is in here because I don't want anybody taking my bird. I have this amazing exotic bird, but I don't want anybody else trying to take my bird. That's literally what their mind frame is. That's literally what their frame of mind is. They're okay with you being free until they actually have ownership over you. And then at that point, they're going to be like, no, it's my bird. This is the best bird, and no one can have this bird. It's like, you know what? Then fine. I'll just be a bird and I'll just fly up high enough so you never have to catch me. Married guy said he wanted me as his exclusive side chick and I couldn't be intimate with anyone besides him. Defied logic because it's that, oh my God, that stuff drives me crazy. That stuff drives me crazy. Men really do have the expectation of you sitting here. This is another thing, too. What women will do, they will sit here and be in a talking phase with somebody and be loyal to a man, and he's not even being loyal to you. Y'all aren't even in a relationship. Y'all aren't even in a relationship, and women will sit here and be like, oh, well, I'm being loyal and I'm not dealing with anyone. Meanwhile, he's sleeping with everybody. Because there are a lot of women that do this, and this is what these men are expecting. They're expecting for you to sit around like, you're over here checking your phone like, he hasn't texted me yet. I wonder why he hasn't texted me yet. Meanwhile, the whole reason, oh, thank you for the Cash App, Yolanda. I appreciate that. They'll be sitting here like, why hasn't he texted me back yet? And whole time, the reason why he hasn't texted you back yet is because he's sleeping with somebody else. Like, whole time you're waiting for a text back. In reality, you didn't even realize that you were waiting for him to stop sleeping with this woman that he's been sleeping with. You didn't even realize that you've been waiting this whole time for him to quit doing what he's doing with this other woman while you're sitting here waiting for him. This is why I'm always telling women, please stop. I don't believe that you should just be dealing with one man and like waiting your whole life and being like, oh, I'm not going to deal with anybody else and I'm only going to deal with this person. Child, no, a man would never do that. A man would never even think to do that. The crazy part of living your life without caring about men, that's when they are magnetized to you the most. They are just in the way everywhere, hovering, stalking, and watching you. We cannot live in peace. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. They want to be enamored by women that they can't have access to, and then women that won't allow them access. But the women who are actually doing everything that they're saying, the women who are sitting here being loyal, waiting, being plain Jane, reducing themselves down to have a man, they don't want those women. Men never want women that want them, because you want to know why? This is another reason why I think it's stupid to be playing these waiting games and to put your life on hold for a man. Putting your life on hold for a man, the man's never going to pick you. And if he does pick you, he's only going to pick you because he realized that the women that he wants, they don't want him. They don't want to deal with him. So they see you still there waiting, and you're a last resort to them. Because men don't even understand why. Men don't even like themselves, and men don't like each other. Men don't like themselves and they don't like each other. So for a lot of men, they're over here trying to figure out, and they're over here trying to make sense of the fact of why you even like them. Like, why are you even waiting around for them? Why are you even putting your life on hold for them? They know what they're doing. This is why a lot of men, they tend to not like the woman that likes them, because they don't understand why a woman would like him. Like, men overall are like pretty self-hating. Overall, they're very, very self-hating, and they don't like other men. This is why they don't ask for help from other men. They don't ask men if they could stay over at their place. They don't ask other men to build them up, because men don't like other men. So if they don't like each other, of course they're over here wondering why you would like them. And so that's the allure that a lot of men have for wanting to go after women that really don't give them any play, that really don't give them any attention, because at that point they start asking themselves, okay, well, what can I do to get her to like me? What can I try to do to get her to like me? This is why men understand that they have to manipulate and lie. And yeah, Kristen Bell did say that. She did an interview and she literally said that she waited for him, just for that man to get on an interview and say, I didn't even like her. Just for him to say that. She said to herself in an interview, Kristen Bell, she said to herself in an interview that she let him deal with other women. She let him deal with other women while they were in like their talking phase or whatever. She literally admitted the fact. She said that she just waited. She just waited while he was dealing with other women, and she just stayed loyal to him. Even though they weren't in a relationship, he said he admitted that he didn't like her. The only reason why he's married to her is because the women that he was dealing with that he really liked, they didn't like him. And she was the only person left that liked him. I feel like playing that whole waiting game and curating yourself to be the object of what a man wants, all you're going to be you're just going to be a leftover. You're just going to be a leftover for a man. And you're going to look, you're going to be like, why is he so mean to me? Why is he so mean to me? Why is he just so rude and disrespectful to me? Because he never liked you. He only just dealt with you out of convenience, and he realized, well, I know I won't have any problems out of her because she already done put her life on hold to deal with me. So I know I won't be inconvenienced. I know she's not going to put me in any challenging predicaments. So I guess I might as well go on ahead and just marry her. It'll be easy for me to marry her. She'll just let me get away with everything. So to me, that's stupid. I just kind of feel like you're any woman that has that mindset is just very good prey for a man to see you as the last resort, in my opinion. Yeah. The golden retriever for a woman, it just never works out to have that golden retriever energy as a woman. It never works to have that golden retriever energy as a woman. Never. This man was literally asking me every day, why don't you like me, when I wouldn't text him back? Yeah, because they're always trying to fill the gap. Men are always trying to fill the gap on why somebody doesn't like them. But it's not even, this is the thing. It's not even the fact that they're asking, why do you like me? A man doesn't care if you like him or not. Whenever a man is trying to say, why don't you like me? Why don't you like me means, why isn't this manipulation tactic working? What am I doing wrong? How can I fix the tactic that I'm using? That's really what they're asking you, because they're not even being themselves to begin with. They're putting on a show for you. And so they're trying to figure out, why is this not working? Why is she not falling for this? What am I doing wrong? This is why I don't ever answer those type of questions that men ask. Why don't you like me? Or when they're self-loathing. They're self-loathing and self-deprecating. I'm a nice guy, and you are not appreciative of how nice I'm being to you, and and it's like, no. You're upset because your nice guy facade, it's not working. And so your last resort is to try to make me feel bad for not falling for this nice guy facade that you're putting on. That's what's really happening. You're not a nice guy. You're using this nice guy ploy, and it's clearly not working. Because in reality, they don't care. They know it's not true. I wouldn't listen to no femininity coach. To me, a femininity coach is a scam. Like, in my opinion, femininity coaches are a scam. I am 100% anti femininity. I'm 100% anti femininity coach. And the reason being is that, number one, it's highly male centered. It's highly, highly male centered. What is the point of investing time on improving your femininity as a woman when these men are sleeping with fucking butterball turkeys? They're sleeping with corpses. They're marrying women that they hate. They're marrying women that they dislike. So I've always just thought it was weird, because I'm like, we're going to put in effort on our femininity in regards to men, and this is what they do. They deal with women that they don't even like. Because yes, you do need both. You do need both energies. You need feminine and masculine energy. But of course, they don't tell anybody that, because if people were to realize that if you're supposed to inhabit femininity and masculinity in one body, it's going to ruin the facade of the lie that they're selling to people, to say that your other side is masculine, and you can only find that in a man. That's what that Twin Flames. Has anyone watched Twin Flames on Netflix? It was the documentary about the dating coaches or whatever. They really weren't dating coaches. They were kind of like matchmakers, but it was all a scam. And essentially, they're selling the idea of women to Twin Flames, because of course, women were their target demographic. So, women are all into spirituality, right? So they created this whole ploy, this married couple, that we're going to help you find your twin flame. We're going to help you find your person. They were telling these women to stalk, harass. There were women that got arrested. There were literally women that got arrested because they're following the advice of this man. It was primarily the man leading. A woman was even getting regularly essayed by her boyfriend, because this man was telling these women that you are always supposed to honor your partner's desire whenever they want it. So she was regularly getting essayed by her boyfriend. One of his selling tactics, this is what's crazy. Women started catching on. To it, right? And so he realized that all I have is women, because he was hoping that he was going to have some women and some men. And so he was using the selling point of, the woman is the feminine, the man is the masculine. I'll pair you up. And he was able to do that, but he was pairing the women up with abusers. The men that were also a part of his scene, they were abusive men. And they were weird, creepy men. So there was one guy, he was creepy, and he couldn't get matched with anybody, because they were trying to sell that, oh, that's your masculine. And these women were like, this man's weird. I feel uncomfortable with this man. Fuck what you're saying about masculinity. This man is weird. He got so desperate. The guy got so desperate that was leading this scam. He realized it was no more men left, right? He started convincing these women that another woman was the masculine. He was like, you're gay. You're actually gay. So actually the masculine, one of you has to be feminine and then one of you has to be masculine. He was so desperate to make money and he had no men to match these women with. He started trying to tell the women that they were gay. He even went as far he went as far as to tell the women that they were gay or that they were trans. He went as far as to say, actually, you're the masculine because you're actually trans. Can you believe that shit? Can you believe that shit? He was playing on this whole masculine and feminine thing. He was playing heavily on this whole masculine and feminine thing. That's reason that should be a sign to you to show you what they're selling you is bullshit. What they're selling you is bullshit. There is no masculine out there. You are the masculine and the feminine. You have everything within you. You have everything within you. They cannot monetize off of you believing that, because once you understand that you're the masculine and the feminine, romance dies. Marriages die. Procreation dies. All of that gets erased once you realize that you are both masculine and feminine. They always have to keep telling you, no, you're a woman and you're feminine. The man is masculine and you have to find the other half of your whole. No, it's all inside of you. And mind you, these women have those women for the twin flame thing. They never once expressed liking a woman. They never once expressed questioning their gender identity. It was never a thing. This is literally something that he put on them so that way he could make a profit, because he was constantly banking on this masculine and feminine type of stuff. Yeah, trying to sell women on how they're not whole people. They need a man to complete them. Yes. Yes. That's why you have to be sovereign. You have to be sovereign. You have to be the ruler of your own reality. You have to be the ruler of your own self. You have to be the queen of your own world, of your own reality. Thank you guys for complimenting the makeup. I was down in the dumps today. I was feeling kind of blue. I really was. I was feeling kind of blue. And so I was like, you want to know what? Let me do my makeup. Maybe my makeup will perk me up a little bit. And it did. It did. My makeup perked me up. So I feel a lot better. I do. I feel a lot better. I had to alchemize the energy. Do you think it's bad for women to be androgynous, especially when it comes to relationships with men? No. Who cares? Who cares? There are some women that like naturally look androgynous anyway. Women like Tiana Taylor, Grace Jones, who else? Like, who cares? Who cares about that stuff? It's all about what you want to do. The whole point of being sovereign is for you to not think about how someone else is going to perceive you. You're just like, hey, I want to be androgynous, or I want to dress androgynous, or like the whole point is for you to just do whatever you want to do, and whoever has an issue with it, they have an issue with it. Whoever likes it, they like it. You're not thinking about what somebody else is thinking, because that's masculine. That's a masculine mindset. A masculine mindset is, I don't care what they think. I'm going to do what I want. I don't care what they think. Your feminine thinking is, what are they going to think? And based off of what they think and based off of what the outcome will be, then I'll decide if I'm going to do it or not. No, you just have to be free and do what it is that you want to do. You know what I mean? Yes, Kirsten Stewart was who I was thinking about. Aw, thank you. Had to go get phone to type this. Oh, well, thank you. I know how it is to watch it on the TV and you can't chat, you can't type in the chat on the TV, so you get your phone. So appreciate you for doing that. Yes. I think being androgynous is tapping into both energies as well. And honestly, I like to dress androgynous. Like I like to have moments where, like, from the neck up, I'm very girly, but I'll put on a crop top and like very baggy jeans and some sneakers. That's the beauty of being a woman. That's the beauty of being a woman. You can go in and out of like presenting feminine and masculine because we have a lot of versatility as women. And I think you should be okay with that versatility. If you wanted to shave your head, you could shave your head and then have long hair again with a wig. Like, imagine living a life like that. Men are out here praying. Men are out here praying that they don't lose their goddamn hairline. They're praying that they don't have their head hair thinning out because they can't go get a wig. I mean, technically, they could get a wig. Technically, they could get a wig, but I mean, come on. I mean, society isn't going to look at a man with his wig, his lace lifting. They're going to look at him a little bit sideways more than they would look at a woman that has her lace lifting because it's more accepted for a woman to wear a wig. Men can't do that. Men can't do that. So as women, I think it's very important for you to use all of the versatility that you have. This is why a lot of men are jealous of women. A lot of men are very jealous of women because we have a lot of versatility in how we can present and in how we can dress. This is men that complain about hair and makeup and weaves, they're jealous. They're jealous. Point blank, period. They're jealous. Because somebody wearing hair, wig, weaves, it's not going on you. The hair wig. So that's why when women are like, I don't like it. I don't like it when people wear hair, wig, and weave. And I say, okay, then don't wear it. Don't wear it then. It shouldn't matter what somebody is putting on their body when it's not going on your body. No, you have a problem with it because you wish you could do that. You wish you could do that. Men wish that they could wake up one day and have more options than just different color sneakers. This is why men that are obsessed with they're obsessed with Jordans and stuff like that. Yeah, they have to wear a different type of sneaker. That's their versatility. They're limited to sneakers. All they can do is wear sneakers their whole entire life, and they just have to have different types of sneakers. Women can wear boots, booties, kitten heels, stilettos, pumps, sandals, thong sandals. I mean, the list goes on and on. Knee-high boots, thigh-high boots, strappy sandals, strappy heels. I mean, the list goes on and on and on and on of all of the different styles that we have. And that's just for shoes. That's just for shoes. Men are highly jealous to that. That's why I'm like, no, you just want to wear what we're wearing. Point blank, period. You just want to wear what we're wearing. Yep, pleasers. Pleasers, because obviously y'all know I love me a nice pair of pleasers. She said they're using crayons, foundation sticks to line up their hair before they get. I just bought this pair of cutest heeled boots from Banana Republic. Oh my God. Banana Republic has really nice clothes. So I'm sure they look beautiful. I do. I'm sure they look beautiful. And that's another thing too. There are so many women that they even limit their style. They limit their personal style because they're waiting for a man and they're thinking about what a man is going to think of them. Like there's a woman out here probably thinking like, I like makeup, but I don't want to wear all that makeup. I don't want to wear all that makeup because what if my man doesn't like makeup? I want to wear a weave, but what if my man doesn't like weave? Well, then that's not the man for you. You know what I mean? That's what I would always tell myself. You know, if I'm wearing all this stuff and the man doesn't like it, then that's not the man for me. It's very simple. That's not the man for me. Oh, she said my style is only limited because my suburban town thrift stores rarely have what I want, child. It's probably only t-shirts and jeans, old outdated t-shirt and jeans, especially when it's a lot of elderly people. Especially when it's a lot of elderly people. My ex had the biggest breakdown and yelled, "Well, all you have to do is get a wig and you can change your appeal." He said, "I have to work and increase my net worth. That takes time." Chow, see? And what men don't realize is that women are naturally beautiful. We are just able to get more options to be able to enhance our beauty. But it's like, you have to work and increase your network. Okay, you had a head start. Women have only had rights to even work for like 60 years. So it's like they complain about stuff and they've always had the right to do it. They've always had the right to do it. So it's like, come on. You know what I mean? Like, who set that system up? I didn't set that system up. You need to go take it up with the men that set that system up that said, if you was born a man, you're gonna have to use your physicality to make money. It's not my fault that you this is my thing. This is my thing. They need to be taking that up with their father. Their father chose them. Their father was literally the one that chose what their gender was going to be. Once again, blaming problems on women. The father is who decides what gender the child is going to be. The father decides that. If you are upset that you were born a man, you need to go find your father and you need to go take that up with your father. She said if they can get in touch with their father. What if you were in a relationship with a man and you knew he had father wounds and he was trying to find his father and you hired somebody to cosplay as his father? What if you paid somebody to cosplay as his father? Oh, that would be great. That would be great. That is something diabolical that I would have loved to do. That is something diabolical that I would have loved to do. But unfortunately, I could never do it because every man I was with, their father actually was present. Ironically, it wasn't even something that I was looking for. It just so happened that their father was present. Any man that I was like seriously involved with had his father. But that would be funny. That would be a whole level of trauma added to their life if they found out that that's not even my real dad. Where you I can't believe you. Yeah, and if it's not their mean father, it's like a coach, like an athletic coach or something. In my experience, like if the guy didn't have a father figure, they usually had like some coach or mentor that was really hard on them and they liked dynamics that were reflective of that. This is why I don't like mama's boys cuz it's going to be a conspiracy, but this is the reason why I feel like they would always tell women, you can tell how a man, you're going to see how a man treats you by how he treats his mother. Hell no. Hell no. All that's going to do is just show you that you're going to come second place to his mama. They were gaslighting us the whole time. They were gaslighting us the whole time to believe that how a man treated his mom was going to be a reflection of how he treated us. When in reality, like, no, all it was doing was showing us was that he had an incestuous relationship with his mom, or vice versa. The mom had an incestuous relationship with her son. Where is my other slipper? Okay, here it is. Belle, I haven't seen you in so long. I literally thought, I was like, I haven't seen Belle. I've seen you for a little bit a couple live streams ago. His mother is male centered, so no, ma'am, I'll pass on a mama's boy. I heard that. I'm not trying to deal with no mama's boy. Future is a mama's boy, so I heard. Future is a mama's boy. Nope. No. I don't. Nevadius, get up out of my face, Nevadius. Get up out of my face, Nevadius. Oh, if I had, the Lord knew not to give me, the Lord knew not to give me siblings. The Lord knew not to give me siblings. So I do have siblings, but they're half siblings. But the Lord knew not to give me siblings that I would live under the same roof as. Didn't Future say his mom didn't show up on the day he was born? Like, how did that happen? How did that happen? I guess Future's mom assigned somebody else to deliver him. Future's mom went up to somebody else and was like, can I just pass my son off to you and you deliver my son for me? Like, what the fuck? That's when a man is going out of his way. That's when a man is trying to go out of his way to make it seem as if his mom was this terrible person. My mom wasn't even there on the day I was born. It's like, sir, you're talking about your father. You over here talking about your father. He wasn't there the day that you were born. I'm sorry. I highly doubt Future grew up with enough money for somebody to hire a surrogate. I'm just being real. Yeah, they only have his mom's name on here anyway, so he doesn't probably even know his daddy. Just keeping it real. Yeah, it doesn't look like Future's father was even around. The father's name ain't even on Wikipedia. The name wasn't even on Wikipedia. Like I said, I'm hollering. And they'll sit here and be like, women shouldn't be able to do anything. I hate women. Women haven't contributed anything to the world. And it's like, did you forget that you came out of a woman? Like, they will talk about how women don't contribute anything. And it's like, you're here because of a woman. You're here because of a woman. Like, no matter what the father contributes, the father only contributes the beginning. He only contributes the beginning, the beginning circumstance. So if every man were to do what they need to do to get a woman pregnant, there's no guarantee that the woman's going to complete the pregnancy. Like, something's wrong with him. Something legit is wrong with him. And they literally will sit here and say men create life. Like, they literally will sit here and say men create life. No, you don't. Your sperm fertilizes an egg. You don't technically need the man in the process. You always need the woman. You always need the woman. You don't need the man. You need the sperm. I know, that's why I said Nevadius. Nevadius. Yeah, I paid more attention to the dad. If the dad wasn't there, he's gonna take it out on me that the dad wasn't there. If the dad was a Rolling Stone, he's gonna be a Rolling Stone. If the dad was knocking the mom in between the washer and dryer, he gonna knock me between the washer and dryer. Demon. His name is, oh my God, his middle name is Demon. Oh my God. Because I'm not saying Demon. I'm not saying Demon. It's Demon. His middle name is Demon. And the multiple baby mamas. Like, Elon Musk has like 14 children. Like, I'm sorry. I don't care how much money you have. There's no reason why you need to have fucking 14 children. Thank you. Thank you. And there's a woman out here waiting on a man. And that's the thing too. Okay, that's another thing too. Could you imagine putting your life on hold? Imagine putting your life on hold for a man. You're over here trying to clock how you dress. You're over here trying to downplay getting an education. You're over here not going to get a home. What if your future husband has like 8 children? What if your future husband ain't even got it like that? You would have put your life on hold for a man that doesn't even have anything. Because we already know if a woman's going to put her life on hold for a man, in most cases, a woman is going to just take whatever is in front of her. She's going to take whatever is in front of her if she's willing to just wait and like live her life for a man that she doesn't even know that exists and he doesn't know that he exists. I'm sorry. Once a man has like 3 baby mamas, he's DL. I'm sorry. Once it's like 3, 4 baby mamas, I start to question. I'm gonna start questioning that man's sexuality because, like, I don't know. I just kind of feel like how it is with, like, they say with like hypersexuality. Like, usually people that are very hypersexual, it can be a trauma response. Not all the time, but it can be a trauma response. Hyper baby mama in, to me, that's a DL response. It don't matter if she died. He made somebody a baby mama. He made somebody a baby mama. She just happens to not be with us anymore, but he made somebody a baby mama. I'm sorry. Every man that I've talked to has fully admitted that when men are finishing, they know that they're doing it. There is no such thing as a mistake or them not knowing. They're 1000% lying. They know when they're doing it. So, in my opinion, having that many baby mamas, it's not like they're doing it by mistake. They're doing it on purpose, and it's not like they can raise that many children. So what would be the reason to have that many children? You're trying to overcompensate for something. You're trying to make up for something. And in my opinion, I think to have that many baby mamas, it's not like they're doing it by mistake. They're doing it on purpose, and it's not like they can raise that many children. So what would be the reason to have that many children? You're trying to overcompensate for something. You're trying to make up for something. And in my opinion, I think to have that many baby mamas, and you're purposely finishing in that many women, you're trying to compensate for something. It's why men get those big old trucks. They get those trucks with those big old tires. Yeah, they're trying to compensate for having a small penis or for being short or for not being popular. You know what I mean? They're trying to compensate for something. Whenever men do things and it's very over exaggerate, very over dramatic, and it's too much, they're always trying to compensate for something. Always. It's never by accident. It's very much curated. It's very much curated and intentional. I can't stand when they have those big ass trucks. I cannot stand it when they have those big ass trucks. It's like, oh my God. Yes, the motorcycles too. Can't stand it. Can't stand it. Drives me crazy too. Anything loud. Like I hate it. I even hate it when men want to play their music all loud and obnoxious. Like, ugh, that was another thing too. I kept finding myself with men. I would go in their bathroom and they had a whole speaker in there. Not a Bluetooth speaker, not a baby speaker, like a whole box. Like a whole box speaker. Why does your music need to be that loud? There's no reason why your music needs to be that freaking loud. Why does the whole world have to know what you're listening to? With the snow tires. Like, what is going on? She said I dated a Filipino guy who had the giant lifted Dodge truck. And well, you guessed it down below. He had a loud sports car too. Yep. I told you, whenever they're trying to show off something big, it's because something is little. They money might be little, they dingaling might be little, personality might be little, but something's little. Something is little. Point blank, period. Something is little, and they're trying to hide the fact that it's little. They don't want anybody else to know. Like, nope, I gotta keep this a secret. I gotta keep this small D a secret. I gotta hide this Peter Whacker. My one ex, I knew something was off there. I knew something was off there because he was not trying to get me in the bedroom. And don't get me wrong, like I was happy that he wasn't trying to get me in the bedroom, but I know how I look. Okay, I'm sorry. I know how I look. That was a little suspicious to me. That was a little suspicious to me that he wasn't trying to get me in the bedroom. And when I asked him, he's like, well, I just respect you and like I just care about you or whatever. And I was like, yeah, okay. Ciao. When it got time to do it, I was like, oh my God, this thing is small and it's wearing a turtleneck. It's wearing a turtleneck. The caterpillar ain't get released from the cocoon. I was like, oh my God. I was like, this was what he was trying to hide from me. This was what he was trying to this is what he was trying to respect. Talking about some, I respect you. No, sir. You were trying to you were trying to respect your ego. You were trying to respect your ego by not showing me that thing. That's what that was. That's what that was. Cause yeah, no. No, I was traumatized. I had never seen one in real life. I had never seen one in real life before. One that would that one that had a turtleneck on. I never seen that before. And he was Mexican, and I heard that that's actually very common with Mexicans. They they don't get the covering, they don't get the cocoon cut off of their caterpillar. And so I was so scared. I was like, "Oh my god, that thing looks crazy." That thing looks crazy. I'm like, "How do you even handle this?" Like, how do you even handle something like this? Because one of my friends, her husband, well, she's Mexican and her husband's Mexican. And she had told me that it wasn't like that her husband's wasn't cut. And I was just like, how is that? And I was like, oh my God, it's not, it's still got this. I was like, what is the skin supposed to do? Why is it there? I was so confused. I was so confused. I was like, I don't even, yeah. Farting cars. Yeah, girl, I'm talking about their little Peter Whacker. Well, in his case, it really was a little Peter Whacker. In his case, it was. I guess the reason why it became popular for them to start cutting men is because I think supposedly for like exposure, disease exposure, if I can remember from what I heard. I think it was because disease exposure. Right. They gotta teach a class on that. They gotta teach a class on that. I didn't know what to do. I was like, I was so confused. I was so confused. I just was happy that there wasn't anything. I hope you're not eating, okay? If you're eating, pause. I just was grateful that there wasn't any Parmesan cheese involved with the situation. I was just relieved because I heard that that was a thing, that when they have extra skin, there's that Parmesan cheese situation. And yeah, no. She calls it the turtle tip. She calls it the turtle tip. Like, it wasn't bad. Like, honestly, it wasn't bad. It wasn't a bad experience. It's just, it was so small. I think I would have been okay. I think I would have been a little bit more okay with it had it been like, bigger. Bigger. It was like this size. It was small. It was small. You know what I mean? Like, I would have rather had this than this. It was crazy. It was insane. I was like, I don't know. I was like, I don't know if I should deal with another Mexican. I was like, I don't know if I should deal with another Mexican after this, because are they all gonna look like that? That thick candle though, damn, I need that size. And the thing about it is that it was skinny, and it was skinny, and it was skinny and short. It was skinny and short. Like, there was one Greek guy that I dealt with. There was one Greek guy that I dealt with. Okay, it really was thick. It really was thick. I'm telling you, it was thick. It just was a little bit shorter. I was like, okay, that's not that bad. I was like, that's not that bad. But the Mexican, I was like, ooh, it's short and it's skinny. Like, what's the difference between a finger going up there? What's the difference between a finger going up there at this point? Because, child, and he was spending a lot of money on me too, like a lot of money on me too. And I was like, okay, he's spending money on me. So, like, it's cool. You know what I mean? It's fine. But once I started putting the pieces of the puzzle together, I was like, yeah, they definitely are shadow banning me on TikTok. They definitely are shadow banning me on TikTok. It seems like they are. And somebody said that, like, when they searched me, they had to scroll all the way down. But I think they're shadow banning you, girl. She said, "I'm trying to eat a donut." I'm hollering. I had an ex who led with his money because he was deaf compensating for under below minimum standard. He said, I can't lay down on my back, but I could stand on this money. He said, I ain't got no height on my back, but I got height if I stand on this money. Talk to me. Been around the world twice, and my aunt asked, but you weren't with a man. And I would have said, but you didn't travel the world twice, did you? I would have said, but you didn't travel the world twice. Now what? This is why I don't deal with my family for real, because I'm gonna clap the fuck back and I'm gonna make sure I hurt your feelings. Because no, saying some shit like that would never fly with me. Especially if she was married, I would have been like, you have a man and you haven't even went across the country. I would have been like, you got a man and you ain't even been across the country. Because no, because no, this is the reason why I don't this is the reason why I do not be dealing with people that have like a lot of shit to talk, because no. You don't want to talk shit to me. Oh, she said not being circumcised is a sign a man grew up poor. Mama didn't want to pay extra to get the skin removed. Watch out for that now. And he's actually from Mexico. He actually is from Mexico and he grew up in Mexico City. So it makes perfect sense. Cause yeah, he grew up super, super poor. Um, thank God the money was long when I met him. Thank God the money was long when I met him. However, um, yeah. She got a man and barely went to the corner store. Exactly. Well, for some cultures it is religious. Like, I've looked it up and there's a lot of different reasons as to why they do it. I found that they do it for hygienic reasons. I found that they've done it for religious reasons. There's like a lot of different reasons why they do it. She said if you were with a man, you wouldn't have been around the world twice. I'm telling you, talk to him. Worst thing you could say to a man in bed, "Are you inside yet? I can't tell." Yeah, I think it got popularized for hygiene purposes because they realized that men weren't washing their junk. And just like we always have to do for men, we have to force men We have to force men into we have to force them into doing things. We have to do it for them because we know that they're not going to do it themselves. So the doctor just said, "You want to know what? These men aren't cleaning their PPs with this extra skin. It's time we just start taking it off. It's time we just start taking this skin off because they're letting the Parmesan cheese build up and it's getting out of control." It gives me great joy. It gives me such great joy when women leave men as single fathers, especially when the whole goal of the man was to try to trap her, thinking that she was going to keep the baby. Nothing satisfies me more than those types of stories. Thank you. Just like the 10 in 1 body. If a man has a 10 in 1 body wash, if a man has a 10 in 1 body wash, I already know he something's off. Yes, that stuff is highly disgusting to put inside of you. Like, yeah. I'm never ever dealing with a man that that has that extra skin. I'm never dealing with a man that has that extra mm-mm, never again. And I didn't even have a bad experience. I didn't even have a bad experience, but I don't trust men. Mm-mm. And then the thing about it is that they'll sign up to be single fathers to not pay child support, but then they'll get upset that the woman doesn't want to participate or like the woman doesn't want to be involved. And it's like, well, you signed up for sole custody. That now means that the mother is absolved from all responsibility. So what do you mean? Girl, a 10 in 1 body wash, the man probably think it can cure an STD. 10 in 1 body wash, what can it do? Get rid of chlamydia? That's probably why they're like, this 10 in 1 body wash, can it wipe away my sins? Can it wipe away me cheating? Men are so stupid. That's probably what they're thinking that the 10 in 1 does. They're probably like, yep, this going 10 in 1 is gonna cure me of my lice, my chlamydia, my gonorrhea. Oh no, I didn't see that. I'm not ever gonna put myself in a predicament to see that. But the fact that he still had a girlfriend is crazy. That's disgusting. Ew. When I heard about 10 in 1 body wash, I was horrified. Yes, because how lazy do you have to fucking be? How lazy do you have to fucking be? Because okay, it's a body wash, it's probably a shampoo, a conditioner, probably a shaving cream, maybe an exfoliant is in there. Like, what are the other 5 things that it could do? Is it a toothpaste too? Can you brush your teeth with it too? What else are they doing? What else is that 10 in 1 body wash doing? What the freak? What the French toast? What the French toast is going on? Right, wash the dishes, carpet cleaner. When I think of dating men, I have to think about how I have to remind him to stay hygienic. Can't deal with men with poor hygiene. You want to know what's crazy? So, with my experience with men, I've actually been with super, super hygienic men. That's why I'm like, I've been with gay men, man. I've been with DL men. I know I've been with DL men. I've had to have because I feel as though I've been with men and like they're so gosh dang clean. Like they're so gosh dang clean. And I also said that like I was with wrestlers and like wrestling is nasty. Okay. Wrestling is nasty. They be getting ringworms and cauliflower ears, and wrestling is a nasty ass sport. So they probably did have to understand like a level of hygiene, in high school from wrestling because I tend to dated a lot of wrestlers. Um yeah, there was one wrestler when I was in high school. I broke up with him after, but he actually he got a ringworm from the mat. He did. He got a ringworm from the mat, and then that's when I realized how nasty wrestling was because boys are not hygienic and they get germs and shit all over the mat, and then they like pass like diseases and stuff to one another. Um so I think that kind of played a role into my adulthood of dealing with men that were pretty hygienic because I would go as far as to say like a decent amount of them, like the men that I was really, really heavily involved with, I would say that they might have even been more hygienic than me. I think it was to the point where I was feeling like they had OCD because they were so hygienic. But not all that hygienic because I feel like men, despite all that, like one of my exes, he like never he didn't want to brush his teeth first thing in the morning, and I could never not do that. One of the first things that I do, I gotta brush my teeth. I gotta brush my teeth because I don't know why these men want to these men want to fucking stick a titty in their mouth first thing in the morning before they brush their teeth. I don't want your fucking morning breath getting on my titty. What are we doing? Now my titty stinks. Like, no. Like, ugh. I remember I would be having a stiff arm. I would have to Heisman. I would have to be, ugh, get away. Get away. Right? Like, get away. You haven't even brushed your teeth yet. Jesus. I dated a guy for a month, and the first time I came over, he didn't have hand wash. And the last day I was over, he still didn't have hand wash. Oh no. Oh no. Because my thing about it is this. Okay, if you don't, that's like if you don't have hand wash, that means you're not washing your hands. And I make sure I wash my hands in my own place. Like I wash my hands after the bathroom, even in my own place. I'm thankful. I think I was so gay. I only dated super clean guys. That's what I think was with me. Honestly, I think the gayness was already inside of me. I was like, I'm just gonna try to find a woman and a man. Because when I look back, I was like, damn, I was in relationships with men that really did act like women. And the relationships actually were pretty good too. Like they weren't terrible. They were pretty good. Like I remember one time, one of my like this is what was crazy. I also tended to deal with men who were very like prima donna. So I remember one of my exes, he would pay to Uber everywhere. and he had got an Uber, and I was like, "What's taking so long for the Uber to come?" He was like, mind you, we weren't going to any place special. We weren't going to any place special, and I didn't care. I didn't really care what type of car they were going to pick us up in. I said, "What's taking so long for the Uber to come?" He was like, "They were going to send a van here to pick us up. I'm not driving in no van. I canceled the Uber." I was like, "Okay." I was so shocked. I was like, "Okay." So then another guy, we had went on a vacation and we came back, and you know how like you can have the shuttle service to take you back to like, especially if you go through especially if you go through a car rental place, and then you drop your car off at the car rental place and they'll shuttle you back to that place. We got off of the flight and I was like, "So here are the directions for us to like do the car shuttle thing for us to go on the shuttle." He's like, "I'm not going on no shuttle. I'm calling us an Uber." I was like, "Okay." He was like, "I'm not riding no shuttle. I'm calling an Uber." I was like, "Okay. Okay, queen." Okay, queen. I was like, "Damn, I really do like these men. I really do like these men sassy, I guess." Because in my head, I'm thinking like we're gonna go on the shuttle, we're gonna get dropped off, and then boom, we're gonna be on our way. He was like, "No, queen, we're not getting in the shuttle. I'm calling an Uber. We're gonna have an Uber drop us off there." I was like, "Okay." Yeah, that's exactly what I said. I was like, okay, wonderful. Oh, thank you for the super sticker, girl. Appreciate you, Tiara. Ma'am, you were dating Mariah Carey. I swear to God, I was. And the one guy that canceled Ubers, he would always cancel Ubers if it wasn't the car that he liked. That wasn't the first time that he did that. He would do it pretty regularly. If the car wasn't to his liking, he would cancel the Uber. He would cancel the Uber and request a new one. I was like, "Oh my." I was like, "Oh my." And I think for me, I didn't even care. It wasn't even that I cared. It just threw me off guard because it was never something that I cared about. All I really cared about was just getting to the place safely. Like all I care about, just get me to the goddamn place safely. I don't really care like what we go in, but I'm like, as long as you're paying, I don't care. That's fine. It just it just would always like it just took me by surprise. And I don't know why, but I love those coach shuttles. Like I love getting in those coach shuttles. And the company was so small, it wasn't like the shuttle was going to be full of like a ton of people. But I love the coach shuttle. Like I love the carpeted seats. I love the carpeted seats and like that smell that like those coach shuttles have. Like I don't know why, but I just always like riding in them. So I was actually excited to go in the shuttle. He's like, "We're not going in a shuttle. We're getting an Uber there." I said, "Oh, well, all right." Sarcastically saying okay all the time. Me when I deal too long with men. Child, okay is like the number one term in my vocabulary when it comes to men. When in doubt, I'm always going to say okay. Whether I agree, whether I disagree, it's always going to be okay. Whatever you say, whatever you say, I don't even have the energy. I don't even have the energy to be going back and forth with him like that. I was getting the inkling to want to call one of my exes, call that ex that I called before. But if I do that, he's going to start thinking that I like him. he's gonna start thinking that I like him and that I want to deal with him, and I don't want to do that. We gotta wait a couple months. He's not gonna text me first. He's not. He's never gonna text me first. I usually harass him like 2 to 3 times a year, but I think I reached my quota for this year. I do. I think I reached my quota for this year because I think the last time that I talked to him on live stream, I think that was like my second time. I think that was my yeah, I think that was my second time talking to him. That's why I always tell my daughter to shower, especially after gymnastics. She's a bit tomboyish. What you said about the ringworm was new to me. Yeah, it's so crazy too because you want to know what? My grandmother was a school teacher, and one time she got a ringworm from one of her fucking students. One time she got a ringworm from one of her students. I was like, oh my God, these kids are fucking dirty. These kids are freaking dirty. Cause at gymnastics, I did gymnastics and like, I'm sorry, like it's a ton of freaking little kids. Like I remember going to gymnastics and like there would be boogers all over the walls and stuff like that. Like, it used to drive me nuts. It used to drive me nuts. I couldn't stand how just disgusting a lot of like other children were. Like that used to bother the crap out of me. They just would be wiping their boogers on the walls and stuff like that. I'm like, oh my God. I just don't want to hear his ass keep talking on and on and on and on. Like that's the price I have to pay whenever I want to harass him. Um, he's gonna talk forever. He is. He's gonna talk forever. Exactly. Sometimes you just gotta bully a man. Just call them up and inconvenience them. Just like talk shit to them. Because a lot of the time they're not gonna have feelings. They're not gonna have feelings in regards to you. They're not gonna have feelings in regards to how you think and in your thoughts in relation to what they're doing. So the way that I look at it is like, okay, why would I care about their feelings? They'll be okay. They'll be okay. Like how my ex was talking about a Rolex, and I'm like, so you have a Rolex and you don't have a car? Because he was talking about Rolexes. He was talking about Rolexes. I'm like, so you have a Rolex and no car? Makes a lot of sense. Makes a lot of sense. Let's rally up that logic. I notice if you call them fat, it depletes their self-esteem, even the buff ones. That's smart. Usually I deal with scrawny men, and so usually I'm like, that's why you ain't got no muscle, you bitch. He was so annoying. I can't stand listening to him ramble, girl. That was my whole relationship with him. And then what he would do, turns out he didn't have a Rolex. Exactly. Exactly, girl. Exactly. Turns out he had no Rolex. He would drive me fucking crazy with that. And then what would happen is that after he would ramble for like 20, 30 minutes, I would have enough and he'd be like, "Don't cut me off." And it's like, dude, how like he clearly would do it to like to drain me and wear me down. So like that's the reason why I muted it and like I just started doing other things. Like I started stretching. Because he would never follow up and like ask me anything. He just wanted to hear himself talk. He just wanted to hear himself talk. Yes, my grandmother, she was a school teacher. She got ringworm from a student. I'll never forget that. I'll never forget that she had got ringworm from a student. I was like, that's just deplorable. Just nasty. Take a shot every time her ex said, "Why do you ask?" That was funny. That part was funny. I may or may not have one. Why do you ask? I know. He was like, "Why do you ask?" That was another thing that used to like annoy me about my ex is that he like his code switching was obnoxious. His code switching was obnoxious. So like for the most part, my ex would always be like, oh, he would be well spoken. He never really gave like I don't deal with men that talk in a whole lot of slang and stuff like that. Like you at least need to speak like you're educated, right? So he was never giving slang talk. He was never giving like that, you know? Sometimes I'd be on the phone with him and he'd be talking to me normal. And then when he would have like a customer, he would cut his like customer voice on, and it used to annoy the shit out of me. And it used to annoy the shit out of me because it's like, you're already well spoken. Like, you don't sound like some hoodlum. You know what I mean? You don't sound like a person that's not educated. Why do you have to sound like you have a stick up your ass? This sound like it just used to drive me crazy. It used to give like sociopath. It used to give that. It used to creep me out because he did it once a few months ago. He brought up that Rolex. Exactly. I'm like, "Sir, you're the one who was pretty much bringing up the Rolex and insinuating that you had a Rolex." He's like, "Well, why wouldn't you get a Rolex? Rolex have a lot of value. Rolex don't depreciate over time." Like he was just giving me all of these like reasons as to why I should get a Rolex. And I'm like, "Dude, you don't even have a Rolex. Like, let's stop. Let's stop. You sound crazy." So you have a daughter, but you're telling women to be alone, evil stuff. I don't even know who they're talking about. Why'd you deal with him for so long out of curiosity? Mostly because at the time he was giving me experiences that I really, really liked and that I really cared about. So I grew up in a really small town and he had lived in Chicago. And so like I wanted to go to clubs, like I wanted to make connections with people. Like I really cared about like being outside and like having like being a part of the nightlife and like having the city life. So that's what he had provided for me. And then also, after I had graduated from college, my first job was in the city. So, like, I would mooch off of men, like I would mooch off of men. So, like, if I didn't want to go drive back to Indiana, I would like make connections with men and like mooch off of them and like stay at their house for several days and like eat all of their food because I didn't want to go back home to Indiana. So he was like a permanent circumstance in which I could stay in Chicago and like not have to go back to my home in Indiana because I was still living at home and I just didn't want to go back home. I just didn't want to go back home. And so it just was like fun for me to like go out and like club and have a good time and be in the city and have the city life and like not have to like permanently be tied to the city life. And we actually would have a lot of fun, but like honestly, our relationship wasn't based in anything serious. It was just based in us like clubbing and like trying a ton of restaurants, and we just would have like a good time. Like he would take me on vacations and things like that. Like the relationship was just fun. Overall, the relationship was just fun. I only had to hear him go yap, 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 yap like that whenever we would have like a disagreement or an argument, which was maybe once every 3, 4 months. And then that's when I would have to hear him like yap. But he was still obnoxious as hell. He was still obnoxious as hell. Thank you. Thank you. Now that we're talking about him, I swear to God, now I want to call him and harass him. Now I want to call him and harass him, but I'm not. $400, I don't blame you. So what I do, I don't ever I don't ever do like a car to the airport. What I like to do is I like to find something on Spot Hero. I get on Spot Hero. I get on Spot Hero and I find a parking lot because I just feel weird. I don't have a garage or like a home or anything like that to put my car in. So if I did, it would be different. But I usually get on Spot Hero. I will find a place that you can drop your car off at, and like it's really cheap. Like for you could leave your car there for a week and it's like $30, $35, super cheap. And then they'll have a shuttle that'll take you from there where you drop your car off, and there'll be a shuttle that'll take you from there to the airport. And then from the airport back to where you dropped your car off at. That's what I said. I'm like, I don't have any kids, so I don't know who she's talking about. And if I did have kids, I would tell her the same way because she's gonna be like, "Mama's hot, mama's happy, mama's living her best life. Don't look too bad." Mhm. Yeah, like, honestly, I was just using him, and he was using me too. Like, he was using me too. He was using me for status. Like, he was using me as status. He was using me for attention because he is an unambiguous black man. He is dark skinned. He has very black features. He obviously was like using me as a status symbol as well. So it's like we both were using each other. We both were obviously using each other. So it's like, cuz like his current girlfriend is Filipina. His current girlfriend is Filipina, and like he's always liked women that were like lighter skinned or like they had like finer hair, the typical of most men who are unambiguous black men. Typical. Typical of unambiguous black men. They usually want someone that's light or mixed race, or you know what I mean? They typically always like somebody like that. So, y'all want to know something too? Y'all want to know something too? Y'all want to know something funny? So, we had went to this club in Chicago. I think it was El Jefe. Is El Jefe even still open in Chicago? Let me look. Oh, it's closed. Yeah, it was a club on Hubbard Street. Hubbard Street was really popular back in Chicago. They had like a strip of like bars and clubs that you could go to. So I was like, I want to go to El Jefe or whatever. And so there was a line at El Jefe. And so I was like, you want to know what? I'm not waiting in this line. I don't want to go to El Jefe. Turns out that as we're passing the line to El Jefe, there are a group of guys that are manning the line at El Jefe, and I actually slept with one of them. I actually slept with one of the guys. And so I came up to him and I was like, "Hey, can like me and my boyfriend just go in?" And he was like, "Yeah, you guys can." He let us both go in. And so when me and my boyfriend had got in there, I had like straight up told my boyfriend, I was like, I slept with him. Like, I'm just letting you know that like I did have sex with him. Just in case it gets awkward or like just in case it were to like ever get weird. I just straight up told him, I was like, yeah, I slept with him. So yeah. Because men aren't stupid. Men aren't stupid. I mean, it isn't by chance. It isn't by chance that like it would just be like, oh, she's so pretty. I'm gonna let her and her boyfriend come in here. Like, no, no. Because I mean, it's a red flag, but he used to be a promoter. But I was able to use my pretty privilege too. So there was one time that like we went to London House and he had like some event curated at London House. And there was a guy there that was a promoter for Tao nightclub. I think everybody knows Tao, TAO. They have them in like Chicago, New York, Las Vegas. Um, there was a promoter there for Tao, and obviously, like the whole goal of the promoter is to like recruit pretty girls to go to the club or whatever. So he was the guy came up to me and he had invited me into Tao, but obviously, they invite you because they're hoping that you come with a ton of girls. The expectation is not for you to bring a guy. And so I told, he was like, here's my number. Here's my number. You could text me or whatever for when you guys want to go to Tao. So I hit him up and he's like, how many of you all are going to go to Tao? And I was like, two. And he was like, okay. And so I think he only asked for my name. Only one person's name had to be like on the guest list, I think. And so my ex was pissed because we waited in the line, and then when we got there, my ex had to pay like $75. He ended up having to pay $75 to get in, and obviously I got in for free. And my ex was pissed, but it's like, you were a promoter. You knew you weren't getting in this bitch for free. And honestly, the place was whack. We stayed there for like only an hour. The place was whack. The place was whack. Just go get your food. Just go to Tao and order some food. But they just go to Tao and order some food and just do that. In my opinion, the club aspect for Tao, even at that age, wasn't wonderful. Wasn't good. I was on Insta and realized all black men want a light skinned woman. My brother is the same. Why do you think? What do you think that's about? Because a lot of unambiguous black men hate themselves. They hate the fact that they're dark skinned. They hate the fact that they have lips and they got teased and they, like, because my ex would bring that up. He's like, yeah, because I love men with big lips. I love men with big lips. And like my ex had pretty big lips. And he would talk about how he would get teased and they would call his lips soup coolers and things like that. So he actually like would tell me that he had, some self-hating like aspects of himself centered around his blackness. And a lot of those unambiguous black men, the way to cure their low self-esteem is for them to get with a woman of like perceived beauty status, like higher beauty status than what he has. So black men understand that they're not the standard when it comes to men, or they at least believe that they're not the standard when it comes to men. So this is why they tend to go for women that are like darker skinned, or women that are of mixed race. And some will go as far as to just only deal with white women. This is the reason why I don't like this is the reason why I don't like dark skinned, unambiguous black men. I tend to not date them anymore. Um, because honestly, I just kind of felt like, okay, number one, they're using me. And number two, it's artificially pumping up their self esteem, and they're not doing anything. They're not doing anything for their ego and their pride to be that big for them to feel as though they should have a perceived sense of status because they're able to pull someone that is like lighter skin and stuff like that. Because like my ex had really liked me because I was like lighter skinned, but I always would wear a sew-in, so he never knew the true texture of my hair. Once he saw what the true texture was of my hair, and like I guess essentially he saw that I didn't have 4C hair, he liked me even more. And like he had made comments about my hair, and he was like, "Oh my God, like I love your hair so much. Like your hair is so pretty." And this was around the time of the pandemic. So like I couldn't get a sew-in anymore. And like my hair is long. My hair naturally is long. And at this point, at this time, it was like this long. Obviously not thick like this, but it was like this long, like this. And I started straightening and styling my natural hair because I couldn't get a sew-in anymore. And he was just so enamored over the fact. He was like, "I love the fact that like your hair's so long." And then when I graduated, he met the rest of my family. And once he saw their texture of hair and like how light skinned they were, he was like, "Oh my God, like your family's so beautiful, and like your family's so this." And I was just like, oh, I was just like, ugh. So, yeah, so I tend to go for, if it is a black man, I prefer to deal with men that are biracial, or someone that's the same complexion as me. Queen, people on Reddit are praising your channel. Really? Really? That makes me so happy. That makes me so happy. Yeah, what's the subreddit? What's the subreddit? I think a male mentioned something about the kids. He doesn't watch you much. You have no kids. Oh, I'm like, I don't have any children. I love me some Reddit. I love me some Reddit. Um, Yeah, so after a while, I just started dealing with men that were biracial or were the same color as me, because I don't attract white men like that. I mean, I do attract white men, but the thing about it is that like white men have a hard time approaching me. And the thing about it is that like white men are just not my preference. Like physically, I would say out of all of the races, I'm the least attracted to white men. Like, I would take an Asian or, like, a Middle Eastern before I would take a white man. I'm just not attracted to them physically. And I went to a predominantly white high school, and it was really weird because after I had graduated high school, that's when, like, white men that I went to high school with finally started telling me that they were attracted to me. It's just weird. The amount of times they called my hair a pillow. This is why, like, black men, like, their dialogue around women, and, like, women, like, how black women style their hair and why they don't wear their natural hair. It's like, well, the argument could still be said with black men, because the thing about it is that, like, black men get their hair cut as low as they possibly can. Black men get their hair cut as low as they possibly can because they don't want people to see that they have 4C hair. They don't want people to see that they have a thicker textured hair. And then they put all of this product in their hair to create waves to hide the fact that they have 4C hair. So like you put the do-rag, you put all this product in your hair and then you put a do-rag on and then you let it all sit in. That way your hair can be wavy. So that way it can look like it's a finer texture than what it really is. You don't like your hair either. Just because you're not putting on a wig, just because you're not putting on a wig doesn't mean that you're staying natural. You're not staying natural. You don't have a fro. You're not growing out your fro. You're not letting people see your natural hair. And I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with that, but like me personally, I actually like it when men have like a little bit of a fro. So actually, when I went to high school for my junior year, I went to my high school's prom, and then my day for prom went to a different school. So we went to each other's prom. And he was a black guy and he actually had a box cut. He actually had a box cut that he put it into for prom. I actually like it when black men grow out like their hair a little bit. I actually like it to be a little bit tall. Um because I'm not a texturist. I'm not a texturist. Like, I don't care what texture your hair is, but it's like men are gonna sit here and talk shit about women wearing wigs, and it's like, okay, but you are wearing your hair cut as low as possible because you don't want people to see that you have 4C hair. You're just doing it in a different way. You're just not putting a wig on. You're simply just cutting your hair low as fuck. And the thing about it is that like dark skinned men are actually very attractive. They're very attractive. They're just too self-hating for me. I'm gonna be on here for like 5 more minutes and then we'll go over to the spiritual channel because I have the live stream scheduled over there for 3:30. And I want to make sure I stay on time just in case someone's waiting over there and they couldn't make it over here or like, yeah. True. I actually like dreads on men. I've never dated someone that had dreads before. Um, but I don't mind them, like, when they're not super thick. I don't like those really thick ones, like, I don't like those wicks or whatever they call them. I do like them when they're, longer, they're, like, relatively skinny. Like, I don't mind, like, any dreads. It just needs to look clean. The hair needs to be kept. Queen the Mystic, but I'll put the link in there. I'll put the link. Whoops, that's the wrong channel. I was going to put the link to this channel. Someone asked about the spiritual channel, and they referred to the spiritual channel as the stepsister channel. They were like, are you going to be on your stepsister spiritual channel today? And I was like, that's actually kind of clever to call it that because yeah, I do neglect the spiritual channel a little bit. do, do, do. I know black men always say that. Like, I was watching a thing with Tyler the Creator, and obviously Tyler the Creator, he's an unambiguous black man. And Tyler the Creator has like literally said it in his music. Like he hates his he hates his hair texture. He literally has it in his lyrics that like he has a Nigerian father and he hates the fact that his Nigerian father gave him like kind of like buckwheat hair. So even Tyler the Creator has admitted that he does not like his skin color. He's talked about how he doesn't like his lips in music. He's talked about how he doesn't like his skin color in music. And like Tyler the Creator has always said that like he can't stand black women because like black women say that like he's lame and like he's a nerd and like he's this and he's that. But the way I look at it is this: women get the same type of ridicule. Like women get the same type of ridicule. Women are called fat, you know, overweight. You're not pretty. You're not good looking. Um, and my biggest thing to that is like, get over it. Get over it. Like men don't know how to take rejection. Like men don't know how to take rejection. And so anybody who's rejected them, men don't know how to heal and recover from rejection. They don't know how to do it. They don't know how to regulate and like self-soothe to understand how to overcome rejection. That's a part of life. That is a part of life. The black men I went to high school with did not like me. The black men that I went to high school with did not like me. And did I have a time in my life where it deterred me from dealing with black men? Yes. But I've always preferred black men. Like I've always been physically attracted to them. So despite all that happening, I always call bullshit on the excuse that black men give when they're like, well, I just had all of these horrible situations and all of these issues with black women. And so this is why we deal with other races. I've had black men not like me. I went to a predominantly white high school. There were some black there. I think there was only one black guy. There was only one black guy that had liked me. All of the black men that I had liked that I went to high school with did not like me. They did not like me. And so essentially I was just like, well, I'm going to choose people that choose me, obviously, because at the time I tend to get more attention from like, I usually get the most attention from Hispanic men. I tend to get the most attention from Hispanic men. Very rare is it just like a pure white man, like, you know, with nothing like extra. It's very rare that they're going to show a liking for me, but there were some that had liked me. And so guess what? Like I was just like, well, I'm going to choose those that choose me. But I don't have to hate a group of people because they didn't choose me. That's what black men don't realize. That's what black men don't know how to do. You don't have to hate people because they didn't choose you. You can choose people that choose you without hating the people that don't choose you. So I always was really good about that for the most part. Because the time that I didn't deal with any black men, I didn't deal with any black men because the black men I liked didn't like me. And I wasn't around any black men. Then I ended up hanging out with my cousin because my cousin went to a predominantly black high school. So guess what I did? There were plenty of black men there. So guess what? I had much more opportunity to then deal with black men at that point, which I did. But I would never sit here and be like, oh, I hate black men because I've had poor experiences with them. And because I've had poor experiences with them, I like such and such race of men better. Like, no. You can go where you're celebrated and not have to hate the people that don't celebrate you. To me, it's just kind of, I don't know. To me, it's incel energy. Honestly, to me, it's incel energy. To me, it's loser energy to have that mindset. I'm so happy that they shouted me out on Reddit. Like, that's amazing. That is amazing. And the thing about it is that, in my opinion, like, I'm just keeping it 100% real. Um, Men who always say like black women are aggressive and black men are this, black men are that, or black women are this, black women are that. I never see these men ascend to be the best version of themselves. I never see them ascend to be the best version of themselves. But whenever you have other races that are with black women, the man is always a very, very ascended version of himself. He is of a high caliber. It's just simply that men that have an issue with black women, they don't want to be pushed. They don't want to be pushed. They don't want to be pushed into reaching their highest potential. And guess what? I don't want to be with someone that doesn't want to be their best. I don't want to be with someone that doesn't want to be held accountable. I don't want to be with somebody like that. I don't want to be with somebody like that. You want to deal with people that are going to allow you to be lazy. You want to deal with people that are going to allow you to be weak. You want to deal with people that are going to allow you to just coast by through life. Black women don't get to coast by through life. We don't get to coast by through life. So, yeah, just go where you're appreciated. That's the biggest thing. But like I said, I've dated them all. I've had every color of the rainbow. I done had them all. And despite my experiences, I have enough love in my heart to not hate anybody or to not hate any race specifically. But honestly, men can't operate without having hate in their heart. Men cannot operate without having hate in their heart. They have to have hate in their heart to be able to operate. Men have to hate somebody. They have to hate their father, they have to hate their mother, they have to hate some woman that broke their heart. Most men are highly motivated by hatred. So, yeah. Men are highly motivated by hatred. Okay, we're gonna go. She said, "Do you think Shira practices what she preaches?" I mean, I don't know. I mean, it would appear so, but also it's social media. It's also social media. So it's one of those things where it's like, I don't know. It appears as so, but I don't know these people. You know what I'm saying? I don't know these people. But it appears as so, like, I don't know, like Shira is a good vibe. Like honestly, she's a good vibe. Like Shira's like always radiating love. I just think I just think she is a I think she's I think she's an exception of the best way that a circumstance can look like. That's what I believe. I believe that she has the best circumstance that you could potentially have if you get married to somebody and you're married to someone old and you're married to somebody that really don't give a fuck about what you're doing. um and she got married so long ago, it's like in most cases you're not going to find, we're not going to find what she has. We're not, and so sometimes the advice that she gives, it can be a little bit outdated. It's a bit outdated, but Shira radiates pure love. You know what I mean? Like you could tell that she does have really good intentions, and you could tell that she really does care about helping women. And I think overall with Shira just wants women to be in the best predicament. She wants people to be in a better predicament than they were in before in regards to men. However, that looks like for you, whether you went from getting dogged out to men and now you have men giving you money, whether that was men giving you money and now you realize that you're better off being single. Whatever that looks like for you, at the end goal is that Shira just wants the best for women. And like I hold the same sentiment. If you want to get married, you can get married. If you want to, date for money, date for money. Um, all I care about is like I just want women to mitigate the risks that come along with like playing this game with men. That's just my biggest thing. I just want my whole purpose of my channel is risk mitigation for women. So that way you can make informed decisions. I can't stop nobody. I can't stop nobody from wanting to use the dating apps or from wanting to get married or from wanting to have children. I can't stop anybody from doing that. And just because I don't want those things, I don't want to sit here and tell people that you have to conform to what I'm doing because it's what I want to do. You're free to do whatever you want to do. It's just I want to give women information on how things look so that way you can make an informed decision. So that way, like with a marriage, you can get divorced. You know what I mean? But we're getting closer to a reality where you're going to get married and you're not going to be able to get divorced. And once you have children, you're always going to be a mother. So there are some decisions that are more permanent than others. And so I think it's important for you to, you know, just understand what choice that you're making. Understand the risks that come along with it. You know what I mean? So, yeah, but we're going to go on over to the spiritual channel. So I will meet y'all over there, okay? Bye.